Hello everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So I decided to sit down and do another one-story house one-story family home because I know you guys appreciate them so much. I know that the majority of you guys prefer them for your gameplay, and so I hope you guys will like this one as well. Quick intermission, I just want to thank the EA Creator Network for making this video possible by providing me with codes throughout the years so that I can continue making videos for you guys. And also, I have a creator code with them. It is Aveline. Feel free to use it if you want to. That's about it. Let's get back to the video. So the house is built in San Sequoia. It's for a small family, so it's for 2 parents and then also a teen. The house itself is okay, they have 2 garages, first of all. One is decorated for the teen, because I kind of imagine them to be an older teen, so like almost young adult, almost going off to university or something, whatever they want to do. And the other garage is just a garage. I don't really like, garages are difficult because you can't really drive anyway, so for me, they're solely for aesthetic purposes, and so I don't like to just leave the garages as is, if that makes sense. Like I prefer to turn them into like home gyms or art studios, or maybe they have like necessary, like wood crafting as well fits in there, you know? These like slightly random things that you wouldn't necessarily have fully dedicated rooms for unless you're rich and somehow have like a 17-bedroom house or something like that. I don't personally build those houses, so a lot of that stuff ends up in the garages because I don't like to just leave them empty. I want the space to be used for something. And so this one is a bit of like random stuff, but there's a treadmill in there, there's a punching bag, there's a little bit of other stuff in there, but also like decor pieces. It's a good place. I think they have like, it's a candle making station or something. There's another piece in there, I can't remember, and I'm pretty sure I didn't record it either, so apologies. But maybe there's a screenshot of it at the end of the video. I can't really I can't remember, but I wanted the space to be used for something, so this time that's what I've gone for. Sometimes I turn them into hangout rooms as well, so like they have like a gaming room there or something like that. And then the house itself is the one here in the middle with the wraparound porch. It's supposed to be a Craftsman house. It was based off of a Craftsman house, but the wraparound porch is definitely giving farmhouse, which is sort of funny, but the house itself, I would still call it a Craftsman, and that's why I'm deciding to call it a one-story Craftsman family home. So that is what we're building today. Floor plans in houses like this that are quite boxy are not necessarily the most fun to do. I think it worked out fine for this one, but it's definitely very symmetrical. It's not completely, so it is asymmetrical, but it's close to symmetrical. And you know, it's fine. It's just, I think I've talked about this before, especially I did a floor planning tutorial, which is not necessarily a tutorial because I fully believe that you can't actually do a floor planning tutorial when floor planning depends a lot on the shape of the house. And so I wouldn't be able to sit down and tell you this is how you do the floor plan because it's going to be different from house to house. But I remember in that one saying that boxes, like squares, are the worst sort of houses to floor plan, and I still stand by that. To this day, they are the worst. This has a little bit of shape to it, so I had something to go off of, but it was still a little tricky, and so it looks a little bit funny, but I think it worked out fine. I'm mostly excited for you guys to see the teens space because I think the parents at some point maybe they moved there from another house, like maybe they lived in the city in an apartment or something, and they just thought like, listen, we can have this whole house, and then there's an extra garage. What do you say we completely decorate it so that you can have friends over, you'll have your own bathroom, you'll have this like big space just for yourself and a lot of things, and you can turn it into whatever you want it to be turned into. And so that's what I ended up doing with that space, and it's like completely the teens' own space. It's a little bit messy in there, there's room for friends, it's very colorful compared to the rest of the house. They have their own bathroom, which is also colorful, so they've had like full creative liberty to do whatever they wanted in there, except from the flooring. I think the flooring matches the one on the porch, but I can't remember. But aside from that, also maybe the wallpaper as well that I ended up using. It's not wallpaper, it's just painted walls, and there's a wood paneling wallpaper as well. But walls are also different. Like these base things that are in the house, I think I also brought over to the renovated garage. There's still a garage door though. So it's not I didn't want it to be fully renovated. You could of course take out the windows and change them with more like house friendly windows instead of making it look like a garage door. But I just wanted it to look like a garage from the outside, so that's what I decided to go with. It's not connected directly to the house, so the teen does have to enter through the kitchen, but I think that works fine as well, especially if they're like getting ready for their morning or something. It's when I was a teen and I went to high school or whatever you want to call it, because our system is different, so there's not really an equivalent per se. I was mainly in my bedroom until I quickly went to the kitchen to get my breakfast, and then I went back and ate it in my bedroom while I was getting ready. So that's kind of like the norm for me, and so I think it would be fine for them to just like quickly grab breakfast. And so it wasn't a problem for me that they didn't have to go through a hallway or anything. They could just enter directly to the kitchen. Not sure I'm making sense right now, but it makes sense in my head. So also a bit like, I mean, we're 7 minutes into the video, but I just want to let you guys know that if I sound a little bit off, I don't know what's going on with my throat today, but it's not really working as it should. I am filling up on tea, like definitely hydrating myself with tea to make it go away, but it's gotten a little bit better. I keep coughing for a little bit when I've talked too much. So it's a bit, if it's annoying, apologies, I can't do anything about it. But just if often when I say stuff like this, you guys can't tell anyway. Like, I don't know why I continue to say it. But I just, whenever I hear someone doing voiceovers or like, regardless of what kind of video it is, and I can tell if they're sick, I want them to acknowledge it. So I'm not sick, I just sound a little bit ugh, you know? Yeah. As for the interior, I wanted it to be mainly brown because I like that kind of interior for Craftsman houses. And there'll be a lot of colorful builds up on the channel soon, TM, just so you guys know. This is not one of them, but there's a little bit of color in there, but like muted tones. So I can't actually remember what I have another house built for you guys. I've built a lot lately and I still haven't finished the videos. I've edited them, I just haven't done the voiceovers, and so all the houses are kind of mixed together in my head, but I really need to start doing voiceovers because my computer's going to repairs on Thursday. Like, it's just around the corner. I need to do those voiceovers. This kind of day with this throat issue thing, I'm not having it. I don't have time for it, okay? But my point was, I can't remember exactly if it's the next house that is colorful, if it's the house after that one. There will be colorful houses up on the channel soon though, so if that's what you're waiting for, there will be some, or if you're just like, you want, you know, something a little bit different, there'll be some. Okay, I got you. I will say the vibe in this house is definitely different from a lot of the houses I've done recently, so over the past like couple of months. It's a lot more rustic and a little bit older looking. It's kind of like bordering into grandma territory, which is a cute vibe. I like grandma vibes. But also, I just wanted to fit with sort of like a mixture of San Sequoia, but also, what is that world called that came with high school years? I cannot recall for the life of me right now. I've just forgotten the world's names. I think I've not looked at them for a while, and now I just don't remember them anymore. Most of them I don't remember. I can probably look it up very quickly because I have a list. I have a list on my computer. If you guys don't use Microsoft To Do, you definitely should, because it's so good at keeping track of everything. And I have a list here that will tell me. It's not Chestnut, Copperdale? Is that the one? Copperdale. Why have I misspelled Tartosa? I've written Tortosa. I don't know what that is. That's weird. And let's just fix that. So, because I have a list over the worlds that I still haven't done multi-household lots on. And it's my to-do list. It's a to-do list. That's what you do with Microsoft To Do. You make to-do lists. So I have a to-do list over those worlds. There won't be any new of those in this upcoming week. Sorry, but maybe next month. Maybe next month. We also have a new EP coming out, and so I have to focus on that a little bit as well. It definitely looks like it would be fitting to build like multi-apartment lots on one, or how do you say this? Like multiple apartments on one lot with that pack, because when I think of singles, when I think of dating life, I think of singles, because that just feels like that seems quite obvious. Not that people in couples don't date, but like Lovestruck, I don't know, it just screams singles to me, okay? So I feel like also from what I've seen, it would make sense, because singles, I often connect them with apartment life, because houses are pricey, okay? It's pricey to be single. It's cheaper to live in an apartment, unless you don't live in the city. But if you live in the Lovestruck pack, you probably live in the city. I just want to say. So I'm kind of expecting to hopefully be able to build like multiple apartments on, like I've done before. I did that in Tomarang, I think. I built like multiple apartments on one lot, and I think I've done it in the what's it called? Oh my gosh, I cannot remember. The Japanese world, Mount Komorebi. I've also done that, but that was before we actually got the feature. So maybe I should go back and fix that lot. But there was also like a store underneath one of the apartments, so it's kind of awkward. Like I don't know what to do about that. But that one was just for show. That one was not for functional gameplay, I suppose. But yeah, so I've done a couple of like multiple apartments on one lot without them actually being apartment buildings, if that makes sense. They're more like townhouses, I suppose, next to each other or something like that. So I would hopefully I'm able to build something like that in the new world, but I don't know if that feature came with for rent. I feel like it did. And so we're gonna have to wait until like, you know, I get access to everything all at once, if that makes sense. Yes, so I can build some of that. But single life definitely to me just screams apartment builds, so I want to do some of those. I very legitimately cannot even remember why I started talking about that. But anyway, I still got on my list, it also says trailer park in Oyster Springs. So for those of you who are waiting for that, I got it written down. I'm gonna do it. I just need the time to do it and the inspiration, because sitting down and building 3 trailers all at once does actually take a bit, just want to say. So we'll get there eventually, though. We'll get there. I promised to do it. I will do it. The only world that I've definitely, or the only worlds that I've definitely, that are kind of on my don't really want to do is Forgotten Hollow and Magnolia Pride. Magnolia Pride? That's what it's called. Magnolia Promenade. What the heck was that? Magnolia Pride? What is that? Ew. Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know like Magnolia. Flower Pride? Actually, that sounds kind of cute. I wouldn't mind that. Moving on. But anyway, so yes, this is the parents' bedroom, by the way, and they're definitely going for style-wise what fits with the rest of the house. I'm just waiting. I'm sitting here waiting until we get to the teens' bedroom. I'm not gonna lie, because the rest is just kind of, you know, rustic and muted in the colors, and I had so much fun with the teens room. I feel like you can't have that kind of fun with a parent's bedroom because they have to be a little bit more subdued, unless it's the same throughout the entire house, but it's not in this case because these parents are not fun. She says, fully knowing that she lives in a white, gray, and black apartment, basically. I'm Scandinavian. I'm excused. I was about to say I'm confused. I'm confused and excused, I suppose. It's fine. It's all good. So, but yeah. They also have, I think I forgot to say, but there's two bathrooms. So I decided to do this hallway space in between the bedroom and the parents' bathroom, but there's also another bathroom in the main house where there's also washing machines as well. So I think I made sure to have hampers in both of the bedrooms, but I could be misremembering, but I think I made it a point to make sure to have them there. I still don't fully know how that works for gameplay. Some people said that it's fine when they're in the bedroom, but some people also said that it's better when the hampers are close to the washing machines. And I don't know which one is better. So if you have any input on that, let me know. But also for all I know, most of you guys don't actually play the game either. You just build. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely groups in the community, and some people build and some people play. And so the builders just kind of build for the game players. And that's just how that works. And then they still have the audacity to go on Twitter and complain about the amount of saucer lights that we use. I want to be able to see when I'm decorating, so that's why I use them, but I also don't overuse them. My interiors are not overexposed, but at the same time, I'm also kind of like, if I wanted to overexpose everything, that would be my choice because it's my build. If you don't like it, just remove some of the lights. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes things are kind of funny, a little bit funky. I don't know. I just want to build and have fun. I don't want to get other people to dictate how many saucer lights I can put in my build. I will say, I realized that sometimes I place them in odd spaces, but that's because I never really look up when I decorate. And so for me, I place them where they're placed, in case you're curious, maybe. So that the light is actually, it's sort of divided evenly throughout the room. Like, that's why I put the lights where I put them. And if I delete one, I do it on purpose, mostly. Not this time though, I just deleted one, but it turns out fine. Yes, because I move it later on. But usually I will make sure that there's just like even light throughout the entire room. And so the lights oftentimes end up being weirdly placed, but it makes sense if you look at the room itself. Because lighting in a sense is a little bit buggy. It's a little bit buggy at times, a little bit glitchy at times. And so especially if you have like half walls in a room or you have an open room to the second floor, the lighting just turns out kind of strange. And so I just try to work around that basically. And so the lights, my little saucer lights, my little UFO lights end up in weird places sometimes, and that's just how that is. At least I don't size them down, so you can delete them if you want to, you know. So this is, we're finally decorating the teen's bedroom, and I really wanted to make sure that the space felt very welcoming to the teen, and also just like completely their own space. They had room for friends coming over, and you kind of have a clear idea of what this teen likes, which is, in this case, music. I think this teen is very into playing and listening to music, but also kind of gaming with their friends now and then. So it's very colorful, definitely focusing a lot on like teal throughout, teal and green, a little bit, or teal and blue mint. I don't know, it's a little bit of a mix of different tones in that area. And then also they have a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a bohemian style, but it's like a vibe, a little bit of touch of that vibe, maybe something like that. So it's very colorful, very playful, very fun, and I feel like it also shows that the sim is, or at least I'm trying to, but we may interpret it in different ways, and that's okay. But I want it to be very clear that this is a creative teen as well. So I feel like for a lot of younger adults, teens, having this like big space that they're big, because you go through a couple of years where you're just trying to like be your own person, like a separate identity from your parents, because now you've been a child for so long and you want to just be a little bit close to being an adult without being a full-on adult. And so one of those things, I remember when I was a teen, I really wanted my own space, not live away from home, but I wanted my own space in the house that was fully mine. And so I could imagine it being a dream of a lot of teens out there to actually have this like huge space that they could just do whatever they want with, because you're also trying to find your own identity when you're a teen as well. And a lot of like doing your own interior and decorating your room is definitely contributing to you finding yourself too. So I don't know. It's something that I think about a lot when I decorate teen rooms, to be honest, because kids generally don't really care, but then suddenly you reach an age and then you care. And so I don't know, I think it's important to just, yeah, have these spaces for teens. I think in general as well, overall at least, high school years as a pack does help a lot with that, because it's not stuck to one style, it's not stuck to one print. you can definitely, there's a lot of items there to help you individualize the different bedrooms and stuff, and a lot of like random stuff as well that you wouldn't necessarily have in bedrooms if you're just like have like a bare necessities kind of bedroom. So I think it's a great pack for that. I use it a whole lot. Also for children's bedrooms actually, and also younger adults that have moved out. A lot of fun stuff to just play around with in that one. So yes, just wanted to throw a little bit of appreciation out there for high school years basically. I use the beds especially all the time. Also that piano, I'm still obsessed with it. I can't remember where it's from though. If it's from the same pack, yes, please, thank you, but I cannot remember. As for the porch, the wraparound porch, just added a little bit to it. I didn't want to over clutter it or anything, or like use a lot of furniture around the space, but they do end up with, there's a bench, but also a dining table at the front, and there's a yoga mat as well on the back here, plus a microscope as well, because I figured we just want to add a couple of items that could help with skill building essentially. So they have a couple of those items, and now I can't, oh, I do decorate the other garage on cam. I did record it. I couldn't remember if I did that or not. I think maybe in one of the other builds I didn't do that. I can't remember, it's fine. Short-term memory is not what it's, I don't know, it's because I don't sleep well, I think. It's fine. Or maybe it's just the same old usual, like I moved on to the next build, so I don't remember my previous build anymore. Like I've already, like my head is just, yep, that's done. Next one, what do we do with it? And then that just takes up my entire head, if that makes sense. So they do end up with a couple of skill leveling items in there as well. And of course the fire pit, because fire pits are cozy. I like them. I like to include them. Along with barbecue areas, but I'm pretty sure I didn't include one of those for this house though, unfortunately. Next time. It'll be next time. Is there one in the next build? There probably is, to be honest. I don't know, I guess you'll have to wait and see. But that is all for this voiceover, so I hope you all like this build. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the trade files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box as well as in the pinned comment, where you can also find a link to my booktube channel. So if you like to read, definitely feel free to go check it out. However, that is all I got for you guys today, so I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
The ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know I must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise. I think I'll let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know all of my problems. I know. Where did it go? The feeling of thirst, desire to be a rock in my heels. I'm numb as a poison, flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know I must get it right, must get back in